Okay, it is our Diamond Dash week 2, and I let you guys pick the topic because you know what? The best thing ever is listening to your people and what their needs are, and I'm here to serve you and be your leader that you need and serve you in the way that, what your biggest pain point is. And usually social media is the biggest pain point for new coaches, so don't feel alone. Don't feel like, this is just me and I'm the one that just sucks at social media. No, no. Social media has evolved too from the time that I started as a coach. And what I did immediately, because all the other coaches were doing, is get into Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy. I have dropped $4,000 on marketing and learning how to do the ways of whatever back in 2016, 2017. So I've been around the block a little bit. Things have changed. So some of the nitty gritty details on what we were just talking about, I may not be completely on point, but I do know what works and what catches people's attention. So let's get into it. I'm going to start this presentation. It is the presentation that I used before. I just extended there we go. Okay, so we're going to talk about storytelling, scroll stopping posts, engagement over likes, your bio, and Q&A. So if you do have your phone available outside of this call, if you're not using it, we're going to look at our Instagrams after this call. So if you have that available, that'd be awesome. So we can work with it together. So as you know, storytelling is really important. And in fact, it's the most important feature because if I didn't share this stat with you, it takes about 6 in-person connections to make a sale, and it takes about 200 touch points virtually to make a sale. So what is a touch point? A touch point is someone looking at your story, someone looking at your post, and someone getting a DM from you. So those are all different ways of touching someone. And in a virtual world, you're competing with a lot of people. You're competing with ads. You're competing with Peloton, right? Like you want to work with Peloton. So why you and why do they trust you, right? So storytelling builds that bridge of trust. You want to have credibility, right? And sometimes people hold themselves back and say, I'm not credible because I haven't been in the business. That's not true. Your credibility lays on how much you probably share your journey and just being kind of honest, and not that way that we think of when we're like, oh, someone from Monet just hit me up and wants to sell shampoo. They don't know a single thing about me and they just asked for a sale, right? We don't want that. So storytelling helps us build a connection, and you can also see who's watching you. So you engage with the people who are at your table already. So like you see on the screen, it allows people to get to know you faster than posts alone. It creates trust and credibility and allows you to get feedback on polls, what people need or want. So enough of just showing your lifestyle. You want to connect and figure out what people are dealing with. It's from asking about, is, virtual training or virtual learning for my student, asking questions about that, like how people are dealing with it. Are they stress eating, or are they good to go? How are you handling? Did you hire help? Like that could be for you, Sierra. And then for Mackenzie, she could ask something like, how do you fit in? Is it a struggle for you to do a full-time job, be a mom, and work out? Like, how do you fit that in? Or anything like that can connect you with your audience and who you're talking to. Polls are the way to go. And usually when you have people connecting with you on polls, not a sale poll, they're also connecting with your post, and your post will do better. So when you have more engagement with your stories and comments, usually your posts do better. I've heard that in a podcast, and I want to just kind of emphasize how important stories are. So when you are talking on stories, speak to one person. It's almost like you're FaceTiming a friend. It's not, and I'm guilty of this, hey everyone, good morning. But I usually, now I'm focused on, hey, good morning. This is going to be a tough one. But you know what? You and I have it. So you literally are talking to one person. And what you're doing when you talk and you think about this person, you have an idea who it is. It's either the stay-at-home mom who's doing the virtual training, or it's the Marine Corps mama or military mama that is hustling their little buns every single day to get into uniform and be on time and deal with childcare and all the things. You're talking to that one person and you're imagining that in your head. So speaking to one person, we'll find out as you engage with them and they respond back to your story what their pain points are, and be able to start a conversation. And here's the thing, if you don't know your audience, the things that you follow on social media will most likely be the things that your people follow. So go to those inspo accounts, look at the engagement, see what they're commenting on, and probably create something that is similar. So for one thing that I learned, I went and saw, like, I didn't even follow this girl, but she was on my, my For You page. And she had a picture of like her spandex real high and nice and a cute selfie. And then right next to it was them pulled down and it showed everything that those spandex were hiding. And I was like, oh my God, no, she didn't. She showed it. She showed what was underneath. And you know what I did? I ripped the Band-Aid off and I did that post, the 5-second later post, because I engaged with that. I was moved that she was vulnerable enough to share about body image, and I've been attracted to posts that share the truth about body image. So what I've done is I've incorporated a lot of that type of posting. So that's an example of what you can do. So looking at your For You page and finding the people that follow that, and they like this kind of content. Okay, I'm going to serve them and share that type of stuff too. Also be yourself. You don't have to like do exactly what they do, but if you are moved by that post, and maybe recreate it. So there's different ways to do stories, as you saw. Yeah, you have a question?
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. So something I struggle with a lot is, so you're a very bubbly and, extroverted person, or maybe you just put that off. But like, I'm not bubbly. Like, I swear I'm not like a biatch, but I'm just not like bubbly. That's just not my personality. And I'm trying to figure out how to navigate without being disingenuous, but still being like, hey, I'm really passionate about this.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have anybody has any insight.
So I know that you mentioned that you connect with Micah, right?
Yes.
And the way she teaches, the way she presents herself, I'm sure. So this is something, and the personality is going to draw in the ones that you want. And you want to work with people like you. You want to have people on your team, and even challengers, really, to connect with, because that will further along your growth. It is okay that you're not me. And in fact, I'm like an extroverted introvert. I really do like engaging with people, but the way that I recharge is actually in silence and not at a party. So I'm a weird introvert. I may seem, but that's another thing, is not comparing yourself to another person, but also knowing, talking the way you talk doesn't have to be a certain way. And it really matters the content and the value that you're sharing. And of course, there's ways to present yourself, there's ways to be engaging, and there's techniques. But I would encourage you to watch Micah's stories if you're drawn to that type of leadership and the way her personality is. And there is like this color scheme, and we did this kind of personality test a long time ago on the team. She's like a red or something, and I'll have to pull that up. And that's okay. It's okay to be not like super gung-ho gory, it's okay. But we'll talk about that a little bit more on personality and like how uncomfortable it might be because you're not a certain way. We can touch upon that. My suggestion is, yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a coach, like a big coach or anything, but I used to run a group for Nick Shit, and a lot of people started coming to the group because I was different than the normal Navy spouse. I had tattoos, colored hair. So I made some people who would never come feel more comfortable than, other people did.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's also awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I remember when she was actually doing it. I don't know, side note, this is going to be on recording and I'm going to post this probably to make it like accessible. But Sierra and I actually went to Bible study together a while back. So our relationship started a long time ago, and it was really cool because she was actually doing that position. And that's a lot of heart to be in that position. One thing is people look for heart, they look for honesty, and they look for if you're going to follow through and be there a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months, a year. There are people that follow my stories and follow my journey from years ago. So just know that consistency and being authentic are king in this industry. That will set you apart. And then honing in on your craft and becoming a professional at what you do will come in time, right? Like maybe you will invest in Jillian Johnson's marketing. Maybe you will invest in Angie Lee's, live, whatever, she's in California, It Dares to Be Brave show. Angie Lee is amazing at she's actually a student of Jillian Johnson. So maybe you will take that step and launch, because we want to become professionals, right? We want to become competent in our field. And like you said, Mackenzie, in our thread, learning more about the products, doing more of the workouts, sampling them, on your days off or maybe like in between programs. Yes, that comes, but also the business side comes as well. There are so many leaders that go to other conventions and other like live, 3-day, events that has nothing to do with Beachbody, but all about marketing and business and being an entrepreneur. So just know, this is like the very beginning, right? Getting trained. There are so many ways to get better. Okay, different ways to do stories, which you probably listened to Ashley Smith's amazing Canva slideshow, and she is the queen of them. Here's my quick drill down. So, right, hyperlapse. Right now on your phone, do you have hyperlapse?
Mm-hmm.
Download it right now. That's a checklist for you, Mackenzie. Number 2, you can do this, but you can download Cut Story, which means that you would take the hyperlapse and slice it up into 15 seconds in Cut Story. Number 3, I hope you're listening, Mackenzie. Download Lightroom. Lightroom will make your images pop, especially if you didn't get a good lighting, like you don't have natural sunlight like in your photo. Lightroom is bomb.
Is it Adobe?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it like a blue icon with an LR?
Yes, that is it.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. So I use literally almost every day. I use Lightroom, and you'll hear this kind of like buzzword, like presets, like what do influencers use, like what presets. Yes. Honestly, I haven't invested. Maybe I will. I'll let you know after the Diamond Retreat next month with Micah on what presets. But what's working for me and what's getting me hitting SC35 plus and growing a team is being authentic and content and scroll stopping. And Lightroom has helped me lighten the image, not just heighten the contrast. And you can Google like YouTube, like how to use Lightroom. And I've done a ton of research in it. So I've gotten really comfortable. So at first it might take a lot of time and you're like, this is a lot of effort. I just want to post. Hey, you want someone to actually stop and read your stuff. If you're going to like take time to put effort into your content, you want to have a scroll stopping image. So use Lightroom. Okay. Captions. Let's talk about stories. When you're talking and you're doing like blah, 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 as you probably see in my stories, I write kind of like a snippet of what I'm saying. A lot of people don't turn on their volume and they're sitting in bed at night and they're catching up on whatever they want to catch up on, and their husband's sitting next to them sleeping. And I just want to I don't want to turn it up, but I tap through and I skip over. So you want your stuff like also written down in captions. Look into the camera when you're talking to your stories. Hello. Don't look at yourself.
Say hi.
Hello.
Aww.
we're going to sleep, so we have to say goodbye.
Oh.
Mm.
Next, don't cast a net and say, hey, everyone, right? We just talked about that. We talked to, I'm talking to you, little squid. Do you like the colors on the screen? Okay.
Say bye-bye. Say we gotta go. Gotta go work.
Why?
Love you.
I need
Sorry.
to move this over a little bit. Okay, so what do you do every time you post? Right now, take a screenshot of this. What do you do every time you post? Ask, what if your post, this doesn't say, is your post educational, evoke emotion, or serve your audience? Is it educational? Did you provide a tip on how to handle chaos during virtual learning? Did you give a tip on how to sprint from your uniform, strip down to working out and come back to work? Like, what do you do? Dry shampoo, like hair dryer, like in your hair to get the, whatever you do, whatever you're a professional in, which you have skills, right, that I don't have, that I can't share about, right? I'm not doing virtual learning. I'm not a Marine. So use that to your advantage. You're a professional in an area and give the tips. If it's like how to do a bun, right? Like, I'm not in the military right now. How to do a sassy bun, like get out the door because you have a baby and you have a timeline to hit. You're going to give your tips and you're going to do a reel about it, right? Mackenzie, I'm creating your next post. You're going to do a reel, Sierra, about what it looks like going from wake up to virtual learning to mom works out in the kitchen, right? Like doing it all, giving you content. Yes.
What's a reel?
What's a reel? Okay, it looks like TikTok. So
Right.
when you go to your stories, right, and it looks like this, like you're going to post in your stories, you see on the bottom live. You can go live, which I encourage you to do. And then there's reels. Google how to do reels. You can actually share. Okay, so in Hyperlapse, right, I do my workout reels and I slice them to 15 seconds. You can use those in your reels and use segments. Reels is only 15 seconds though.
Okay.
Put words. If you look at my profile and you see like the weird videos that are kind of like, they look kind of off, that's a reel. I'll share it with you guys. So, and when you post, who are you talking to? Be specific. Going into that deeper with this, I'm gonna have us do this tomorrow. This is what is it called? Insta Marketing Mad Libs I got from our leadership, our 2-star Diamond Above group. So being very specific on who you're talking to. Ask yourself, is it pinnable? Would someone save it, tag a friend? Would they save it to their collections, right, under their recipe collection or their like get ready collection, I don't know, or inspiration collection? Or would they send it off to a friend to DM them, right? Or would they screenshot it? That's a hard one, right? Like that means that we have to like come with great content, which is that my last one is create good content. Always take more than 10 minutes to actually think about your post and write it in your notes section. Why? Because guess what? Have you ever found your app canceling out on you? I have. And you just written paragraphs and you're like, oh my God. Okay, go to your notes section. And this is what I have. In my notes section, I actually have the title as posts. And then I write the post and I don't think I included this in the slideshow because I thought you guys knew this, but in order to post on Instagram without having everything smushed, which we don't want smushy, we want it spaced. I use IG Linebreaker. It's called Apps for Life Host. Did you guys have that?
I do.
You do? Mackenzie, do you have that? Where you basically copy and paste your post into this little link. I'm going to put it in our diamond thread.
Okay.
And you need to do that or else Instagram just goes and makes it go shook. And people aren't going to read past the first couple of words, which is not what you want. Okay. So do you know who you're talking to? Be very specific who you're talking to. Are they male or female? How old are they? Now, right now, as I'm going down the line, I want you to write the answers. Right? Audience. And underneath that, right now, you're going to write, are they male or female? You could put M or F. How old are they? Funny enough, my age group is very, very big, but I only talk to my moms in their 30s, but I reach older moms. Single relationship complicated. Are you talking to the married spouse, or are you talking to that college girl? You know, who are you talking to? Gets even deeper. When they wake up in the morning, what are they anxious about? I know what I'm anxious about. I'm anxious about poop on the floor and having to clean it up because I'm potty training. So that's exactly like who I'm talking to. But is that about me or about my audience? Think about your audience. And usually it is the person that you were before you started the journey, right? So I was really anxious about putting on clothes if it was like an appointment, and putting on real clothes because nothing fit. That was my anxiety trigger. I actually really stress out about what I'm going to wear in public. I don't know why, but that was my person that I was talking to. So right now, as you're writing, what do you think right now, what your target audience is anxious about?
Well, for me, it's schooling and health. I think like virtual schooling, and because I started because of health issues. So, and plus health with the coronavirus in general.
Yeah, so health issues, you wake up. You know, is it because they hit snooze again, right? And the anxiety is that they're having to face the day and they just don't want to and they're depressed. Is it the workload of everyone that you have to talk to at work and the email inboxes, and it's stressing you out because, you know, you're juggling 1,000 things? Be very specific. Okay, so as they head out the door to their job as what? What does that person do for work? My person, she heads out her bedroom door to her kitchen and her living room and tries to entertain a toddler. Like, I'm literally talking to a toddler mom every time I post. The greatest fear in their career is what? Me, is that I don't value myself enough because I'm a stay-at-home mom. What about you guys? What is the greatest fear in your person that you're talking to, their career is?
For me, it's definitely like not getting the respect you deserve walking into a room versus like if it was on paper and it didn't designate what sex you were, like it would be a different ballgame. And that's the Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's got to be really stressful. And that debilitates women. And it makes them, you know, feel like they need to do something different and 150% more than the other person. So that's an intro for you. That moment that you just talked about is a hook, what Ashley was saying. That is an intro for you to really relate. Now you're being very vulnerable, but you're tapping into how professional women feel. And it's probably not just the Marine Corps. It is probably at big companies, big corporations that men have been towering over. So how about Sierra? How about you? I know that you worked, right, before. Now, I don't know if you want to tap into that world or if you want to tap into now.
A little bit of both, because I think mine for both was losing who I was as a person, because even when I was working, I worked night shifts, so during the day I was exhausted, slept while the kids are at school, and then just took care of the kids when they came home, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I did. So losing who you are as a person, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. So as they scroll in the evening, they are following accounts that do what? This is they're following, or the brands they're following are what? What influencers are they following? Are they following keto, you know, dieters? Keto comes up a lot in mine. Are they following, what do you guys follow?
A lot of memes.
A lot of memes. Are they, so they're trying to find humor. They're probably decompressing.
Maybe.
Think about this. This is really honing in and part of this worksheet, but I just want to give you a taste how specific you get before you post. All right, I'm going to cruise right through here. Okay, so you're looking for engagement, not likes. Heads up, in the country already, Instagram got rid of the heart, the likes, and they just show comments. So they actually value the comments over it. So when you get more comments, means people value your post and you're creating a more like of a community. So that's actually like, I'm glad that Instagram is going that way, because really it can defeat you if you don't get any likes, right? Especially when you like put a lot of effort into it and you're like, dang it, this is not the right time of day to post? No. It's really the content and really talking to your audience and who's following you. So just know getting comments is good. And that's another way to phrase your first 5 words of your post. Is it getting their attention? Or it's like, hi, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, I like to do this. I love husband size. Like, that offers no, no value whatsoever. Okay, your bio and link tree. So there's not that much on here, but I'm going to send you. Micah had a team call with Angie Lee. When someone looks at your Instagram, what do they see in your bio? If you look at mine, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go actually to, okay, hold on a second. Can you see my screen?
I can see you, not your screen.
Okay, let's go to my Facebook and then pull you guys up. There we go. Not my Facebook, my Instagram. Okay, so looking at your bio, and I'm going to look at mine. You want to think about where you were from A and to B, where you are now, and who do you serve specifically, right? You don't want to just say, I help moms, lose fat. Okay, that's great. Like, that's very, that's specific, but I want you to get really, really, really specific. I went from seizures and depression to freedom in Christ as a stay-at-home mom and CEO of my business. And I highlighted, I help women find themselves again through faith and fitness. I can probably be more specific on what I do as I serve others. So this is when you're like really like presenting and you're looking at your whole feed and you're actually like, okay, does it say and does it provide a link for someone to go to? I want you to write down Linktree, this right here. This is the company, LINKTR. Well, I think this is just how the link is made, but it's Linktree. So this offers a way for people to go from your profile and get access to a boot camp application, a team application, the link to my favorite pre-workout, which I'll probably change the name to Mama Juice, like, all these things. So Linktree is a way from your Instagram to link a bunch of things. And I don't want like a million things on Linktree, but I just want to give you a taste of like really leveling up on your bio and what's in your bio. So I'm going to send a video because it's a whole different gamut, but I want you to start thinking like where you were when you started and who you are now and how you help people. So go from A to B, be very specific. And when you ask your husbands, like, would this draw you in? Like, is this specific? Is this short and sweet? Guys are really good at telling you the truth. So, and the next step is, do you have the bootcamp application form, the Google form? If you do, then you better have that up in your profile, because then you can also post, and your call to action isn't just comment below, it's DM me or click on the link in my bio to get more information, or so we can chat. And you want it to be an option right here. So it can just be your bootcamp application, but Linktree is awesome because as you find it, people who are professionals on Instagram, they have freemiums, they have things to offer, and they link them in the Linktree. So, hey, like, I have my free 5-day clean eating, X, Y, and Z, like, it's click on the link in my bio and find it there. So That is, oh, hey, do you see this still? This is a reel right here. So it's a reel.
So why'd you say it's messed up? Or you said it's weird? You know what I mean? You said it was like
Say what?
you said it was like messed up or something, or you could tell it was a reel because
Oh, so like when it's like this, the words were kind of messed up. But
okay.
what
I didn't
it
notice.
does is when you look at your reels, like from your phone or from like the For You page, then it shows up normal. But right here, you
Okay.
can kind of see that it's cut off. And right here, you can see it's cut off. But when you actually click on it, it'll be blown up. Like you can see the words that were posted there. So Reels is a really hot thing. Oh, and I didn't include this in my slideshow, but it is on our tracker right here. On our tracker, the posting ideas are on the tracker. It says post idea, coaching, post idea, fitness, blah, 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 blah. And it asks you in the last, it should ask you, yes, on this social media thing, it says, do you have a transformation in your last 9 picture posts? I'm going to tell you what, transformations don't have to always be a side-by-side like this right here. But way back in the beginning of my journey, I started doing a face-to-face transformation because it was not as intimidating to me, and I could get, I can get behind it. So right here, I did a side-by-side, just like my face, and I talked about, I'm sure, what did I talk about? I talked about my journey and the XXL large shirt that I was wearing right here and where I was now and how I flipped the switch and all the things. So you can talk about transformations, not just physical, right? You can talk about things that have happened, not just external. And I encourage you to do that because that's not just, our sole focus isn't just losing pounds. I mean, it's a big focus for a lot of people, but really like being confident again is huge. Ashley Smith talked about this tweet. I haven't been so awesome recently on the tweets, but there was a Canva template that was passed out that I can do that for you guys, but I don't want it to distract you because it took a lot of time for me to kind of figure out tweets in general, these things right here. It's a tweet, Canva template. Every once in a while it's good, but I was trying to do it consistently and I wasn't being that creative and I threw them together. But if you want to spice up your feed, this is a good way. I did have engagement on it and it's funny and it showed like, the real life of like a toddler mom. So but I've come a long way, and I've also like looking at this, I tried doing patterns too of just doing a quote, a picture, and then food. But really it stressed me out and it wasn't really showing like my personality. So don't feel like you have to be perfect. You have to stick to something that looks like a certain way. But really the content and scroll stopping feature of your post is really important. And you will see actually, and I see on Facebook a lot, is that even if you do have a good picture, but you don't have like your solid story behind it and you're not giving them anything, they're not going to comment and they're not going to like. So really has to be a combination of putting your best foot forward and being vulnerable. And let's stop share. There we go. So I want to open it up for questions. I went through a lot and I'm going to give you resources after following up after this. But what is your like pressing question about social media that may have not been talked about?
You can go first, Sarah.
So my biggest thing, I think, issue with social media is finding those extra people who aren't just family and friends previously. But I know one of the trainings was going into like-minded groups, like I like dogs, so go in dogs group and find people. but it's just kind of proven to be a little difficult. So if you have any suggestions.
Yeah, so I actually, and Mackenzie actually found this out too during a live power hour. I go and look at my mutual friends and their friends, and I thumb through like on Instagram. And I'll look at their profile and see if they're kind of like me, because I found Mackenzie and I like Mackenzie, and Mackenzie probably has friends like her. So I usually expanded my network from friends of friends, but also I don't just do like dogs. What's a topic that you would relate to?
Oh, I was just randomly saying dogs because I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
But no, like I've been looking more at mental disorder pages, pages for depression, stuff like, because I know I've been there and I can help that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but that's what I've been looking into, that and tween life, because I have an 11-year-old who's driving me nuts. And so I've been looking into that too.
And so here's the thing. So straight up cold market, right? That's really, ripping off a Band-Aid, right? Connecting with people that you don't know. But I encourage, like when you do that, have you gone into those inspo accounts and have you looked at the post and who comments on the post?
So I've been looking at them. I've been kind of nervous to actually add people. So I have been only, like, I still add a significant amount a day, but mainly friends of friends right now.
Yeah. And here's a hot tip that I learned from Shalene Johnson. Because it is good to have like more followers than you follow. But when you are seeing a public profile and you look through their feed and you really connect with them, you at least like 3 of their posts and make a comment on one and save that commented post to collections. Does everyone know how to use collections?
No.
Okay. Micah, so write down Micah collection training. That keeps my mind sane. And in fact, in my collections, I have a collection for Dream Team for someone I want to work with. And then I have it by a month. Micah does differently on who I follow, who I connect with for that month. And then I invite them a month later. So it's really like a great way to organize your business. But I have to say, I've dove into the mental health community, and it's hard. It's really hard to truly like get them to commit, but to connect with them is good. And for them to see you is good. Just gonna like forewarn you, like I haven't gone into bipolar pages for myself because I just know that like I'll go way too deep into that. But like anxiety and depression, probably a little bit like easier to connect with.
I think a lot of it is not only because I suffer, but I have my master's.
Yes.
In it as well. So
yeah,
I guess I kind of understand a little bit of everything.
But I also like just make sure the different facets, like I'm a husky mom. I am a toddler mom, those different things. It's not just one area. So you're touching on different parts, that you're interested in.
Oh yeah.
But I do go into people's pages, and I usually like, especially if they're a mom in the area or a mom that likes like at least the Turkhurst devotions that I follow, a mom who likes the local restaurants here, like that's who I look for, people who want to go to the places that I go to. And what if they became a coach on my team? Like we would want to do the same thing. So just think about the people that you want to work with and also the people you want to join on your team. So it's not just like one person, right? Those 2 people actually differentiate a lot. People who are on your team, you want them to be compatible. You want them to be competent, right? So if they can't fill out an application form, right, and it's too hard for them, probably not someone you want to bring on your team. Maybe boot camp down the road, but you want someone to follow through and be responsive, and be able to navigate. Because, right, we're in a very techie world. So just be very, What about you, Mackenzie?
So I think one of my struggles is, like, we always talk about, like, knowing your audience and like targeting them, right? But like I feel like I'm like a melting pot of audiences. So it's like I was a college volleyball player. I'm a Marine Corps officer. I'm a mom. I gained a lot of weight when I was, pregnant. I had a lot of complications. I have PCOS. I'm going to the Navy now. And I'm like, who am I
Right.
targeting? Because it could be males, it could be females, it could be Marine Corps, it could be Navy, it could be athletes, it could be postpartum moms that like have never picked up a weight in their life.
Mhm.
Like, I guess I'm really confused. I'm really
Right.
confused
And
on who to
so
target.
that is okay, that makes sense. So what I would do is share a little bit about your journey each time you share, and those who connect with your journey. Those who connect, you talk to. So if you have a lot of people talking about PCOS, then talk more about that, people who are engaging. If you have a lot of military moms connecting on your post, talk about military mom life. So you have to put yourself out there in order to know like who they are and who already is with you, who already is your tribe, who is Mackenzie's tribe right now. And I'm gonna guess 90% of them are Naval Academy. So you
Right.
can speak to the feelings of being a female in the military. And that's a really strong pain point. And people want to get their frustrations out, and then being a mom, active duty the military mom. Like I really think that's your powerhouse, honestly. Um, and that is something that it comes in time, right? Like this is just one lesson and you're just being exposed. But I want you to focus on one thing every single day. When we get off this call, you're making a post. And what are you doing? You're finding something in probably not a picture that you've recently taken because maybe there's not that many, but go and find something on your phone or on your Facebook, bring it back to life and highlight it and talk about it. Put it in your Lightroom app and lighten it up because maybe it's not great lighting. Maybe talk about your graduation day from the Naval Academy and today, what it's like, the reality, what your expectations were, and now. And word it and flip it backwards, to how you feel, at that moment, like, and talk to the girl, connect with that. And Sierra, like, find a picture if you want to and talk about either before mom life if you want to now thinking that you have to be in 2020 virtually, maybe you're not exactly teaching, but you basically are managing. You're managing Zoom classes and didn't realize that you would have to have this skill set, right? Whatever it is, I want you to really think about this tonight. It's Thursday night. They're going into the weekend. How are they feeling? How are they feeling from the first week of school? Something really relatable. How are they feeling on Thursday night, as a full-time military mom? Like, are you completely exhausted, depleted, and need to fill your cup, right? Like, and how do you fill your cup? How are you recovering from this? What tips can you give that person? Give some value tonight. Now, we will get into social media posting, a schedule. There's already a mock schedule on here, right here. There's already a mock schedule. I'm going to be honest, I don't follow that, but I do all of that. But I do it in my own schedule, and I make sure I map out. Right now, we are talking about the 21st for prep week, right, for our next boot camp, either commit to fit or MBF specific. We're talking about that date. We are talking in our stories about how excited we are. We are giving energy and life. You have to talk about these things in advance so people know, and not just say the night before on the 20th, tomorrow it's happening. Okay, so the 21st is a big day. I want you talking about that in your stories. That is coming up. And I also want to see you share your personal development in your stories. Share those things. Also, what else am I going to say? Yeah, I need to make sure that I give you this Mad Libs sheet. And this is an activity to do. I'm going to give you, I'm not going to baby you guys. I'm not going to make you turn it in. But this is for you to figure out your people. The Mad Libs thing, the marketing, my client name is blank. They are male or female. They're blank years old. I'm going to give this to you in our message thread. Any other questions before I sign off?
Do you think it's super important to, so that Mad Lib, I feel like that perfectly depicts my issues. like I feel like I hit up males and females. Like I feel like, because like if you think about it, what was 80% of our school? It was men.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they were talking about the struggle with what people are like, why am I being reserved and why am I not joining Mackenzie's team? I think the reason why people on my feed aren't is because they've done these extreme workouts, they've done these hard trainings, they've done buds, they've done whatever.
Is
so
that what they tell
why
you?
is the work? Yes. So it's like, why is the work, or why is MBF going to be great, like these things? And like, I'm trying to convey that it actually is hard. Like I'm burning 700 calories. Like this is the real deal. Like, so
Do you
I
know
think,
what that tells you though?
what?
Is that they probably don't see enough of you doing that workout.
Okay.
They don't see enough of, oh my God, you know, like the live Zoom, you know, that we have,
Right.
you know, what 25 minutes consists of. If
Okay.
people don't believe you, they don't have trust somewhere. Where's the link? And the link is they probably go back to your profile.
Okay.
Does your profile show your progress? And does
Negative.
it talk about coaching? Does it talk about how you do a 9 to 5 and then you have a side hustle for your dreams for your child? So if they're having questions and doubts and you want to back that crap up, instead of showing them a screenshot, you know, of your burned calories, they want to go see. And then this is something great is the highlight bubble. So I did this. You make them fancy, but right here, the highlight bubbles.
How'd you make them fancy?
How you make them fancy? So you actually have to create the image that you want as the highlight bubble picture and put it in your stories. So you can add it to the highlight bubble. There's a whole thing about highlight bubbles. I don't want you going down that rabbit hole, but I will tell you that when I say, oh, go check out my MBF bubble, they can click through and see the dang work that was done.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I've had a lot of questions.
Do you know how to make things go into your highlight bubble? No?
I know how to add to a highlight. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I actually have to do this from today. Okay, so right there, see that heart? I'm going to heart that, and then I'm going to put it into my MBFA. So now you see that heart and it's in there. So I need to do that for the next one. And every single day, I happen to title that workout, the name of it, day 17 out of 21, day 18 out of 21. So when people go back to my highlights, they're like, oh my goodness, like they catch up, right? What they missed out on. These are in the weeds things. I want you to just get on stories and get into posting every single day consistently with a purpose, serving your audience. So yes, you can do all this, but really honestly, as a new coach, when I was a new coach, I was just showing up daily and being vulnerable and doing live Facebook videos and showing my workout. Like I did things, I put myself out there. And as soon as I did that, people were like, oh my gosh, like this works. Instead of saving it up for your final transformation that you're thinking about, that's going to be like the aha, you need to show what happens in the middle. People want to know what that middle is. Are they really going to want to do that? You know, like, are they going to really want to put food in containers? Because here's the thing, you're going to end up signing someone up who just sees the before and after. They go, yes, I've got that. But they didn't see any of the hard work in between. They didn't see the Mackenzie that went, you know, in between on her lunch hours and fitting it in, you know, and doing whatever you had to do to get there. And nutrition is a huge point, like that people are just like, oh, I just need to do this 35-minute workout, right? Well, we all know that nutrition is like a number one.
Right.
So if you are expecting people to show up and be a challenger, right, you have to show them what a challenger is. Like even screen recording. If you don't know how to do that, you can swipe your phone right here and see this button right here. It'll do a countdown, and all of a sudden you'll see that it's recording. Oops, use passcode. Hold on. So it'll count down and it'll do a recording. And you know what I can do right now? I'm gonna go straight into my bot groups, and I'm gonna scroll, which all of you can do, and I'm gonna scroll down and show all the peeps that are logged in, and then I'm gonna press that button up here. Hello, and it says stop screen recording. And then you can put that in your stories. Random stuff behind the scenes that covers what challenge groups look like and also maybe what coaching is, so it touches both bases. So tricks of the trade, there's a lot of stuff. Your mind's probably exploding right now, but I'm going to save this recording